close to the height that I want, I need to start thinking about turning the pot in and creating a shoulder, which will then abruptly turn up to create the flange. So the cap lid sits on the shoulder of the pot, and the flange goes up and locks the lid in place. So now I've kept it pretty tight and cylindrical, and now as I'm getting close to the top, I need to start bringing this lip over. So for this next coil, as I put this on, all the way up my hand has been straight. It's been flat or flush against the pot here. Now I'm going to start putting this in on an angle to create the shoulder that I'm looking for. So I'm kind of pulling this in so I don't push it out, so it doesn't start to flare out as I put this coil on. And you can already see how it's starting to roll inwards. So I'm blending the clay in on the inside, and then I'm smearing the seams on the outside. And now we can really, now that it's attached well, I can really start to squish this clay and bend it inwardly. If you can see what I'm doing here, as I squeeze the clay, I'm pushing this in also. So I'm really moving this clay. I have my fingers on the inside now, so I'm pulling the clay over my fingers also. So my fingers on the inside are kind of stabilizing it, so I can really draw this clay in and close this off and create a shoulder. Now I'm drawing this in more than I want, and I can go back and cut this because I don't want this to be this closed. I want this to be a jar that I can get inside, but I can cut out the opening that I want. So now I have a nice shoulder so my pot comes up, and I have a nice shoulder that comes over. Okay, and I can open this up a little more and then attach one last coil that will be my flange. So when I cut this open, again, this is on my banding wheel, so I can just spin this and draw a line wherever I want. So I want to have a nice opening. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than that. So I'm just going to be really steady, draw a nice line. I don't want to go too big and cut off too much of this shoulder, because then I'll undo what I just did. I won't have a shoulder that will act as a locking mechanism for my cap. I'm just going to take that excess clay that I just cut off, and I just kind of balled it up and rolled it back out into a coil. And now I'm just going to go back really quickly and get this attached on here. So I've blended the seams together. So I got it attached. I'm blending the seams. I've blended them, and now I can start to thin this out. So this flange we want to go up. So now I'm changing my fingers again, so my fingers are going straight up and down, and I have a little groove here. So my pot comes up, there's the shoulder, and then the flange goes up. And now at this point we have our basic jar made. And now we can really start to fine-tune things. We can smooth out the body. We can make this transitional point a little sharper. So I'm just kind of cleaning it up now. But this project you want to go, this kind of pot, you want to build it pretty quickly. Then you can go back and really fine-tune the form itself. I've got my basic pot made now. And now I can go back and really start to fine tune things. It's still a little soft at this point, so I'm going to wait for this to dry up. But now I can go, when it firms up, I can go over this with my serrated rib, which I would usually use first. And I would scrape up the exterior, which helps to blend things together, and also just acts as it just levels out the whole profile, and then we can go back and we can smooth it a whole lot easier. So I usually serrate the surface, just shear everything off so it's nice and level, and then you can quickly go back and smooth it out. But right now it's a little bit too soft, so I'm just going to wait. Now my pot has firmed up considerably. It's been covered up for a few days, so it's really pretty firm. It's still soft enough for me to pinch off little pieces, but it's firm enough, it's leather hard now, where I can handle this without squishing in the sides. So what we want to do at this point is just really smooth this out. So I'm going to go around first using my metal serrated rib, so this tool here. I'm going to use the teeth on it to just kind of go in lots of different directions. I'm going in big motions, changing, going across and up and down in different directions to really level this out. So what I'm doing with this tool is I'm cutting down the mountains, the little dents and divots, and leveling this playing field. So once we go over this, then we can really start to smooth it out a lot easier. So now I've gone around and I've smoothed out the sides. It's not perfect, and I'm going to go back and do a little more. There's some little holes and things, just little bits that I couldn't get to, little divots. So I can go back and just score those again and just put some soft clay into those spaces and just smooth those out and patch those over. So I'm going to do that again, or also, as I really finish cleaning this up. One other piece we want to do as we're getting this ready to start decorating is we want to level the top off. So I find it's easy to, when it's on the banding wheel, is to push this away a little bit from my body so that I can put my elbow on the table. I might actually, for this one, because it's a little taller, use a short one, shorter banding wheel. Or else I could brace my arm on something else, but I can spin this, and now as it's spinning quickly and I'm anchored, I can come in and just draw a really nice line. So I just got it spinning quickly, and then I really slowly come in. I'm not coming on top of it, but I'm coming in on the side, and I can draw a straight line. And then I can either slowly go all the way through, or I can just stop it and cut this and just trim the top off. So I'm following the line that I made as opposed to cutting blindly, which never really works. And now I can come in and smooth this out and soften this cut edge. And now we have a really nice opening to my jar. So the sides are basically smoothed, the top is level, and we're ready for the last piece, which is now getting the lid made for this. And we can begin also decorating the body. All my magic took my